This is Mac OS Ken.
Calls for comment on web apps and sideloading. Europe gives Apple a case of the Mondays, and the year is up on your AirTag battery. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of May, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Notion. One workspace for your whole team. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Collide, endpoint security powered by people. Collide provides easy-to-understand self-remediation instructions to crowdsource your IT and security objectives while educating your employees. Sounds like charts and manuals, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's meeting your people where they are, on their smartphone, tablet, or computer. Collide sends your people important, timely, and relevant security recommendations for their Linux, Mac, and Windows devices right inside Slack. That is your people keeping your environment secure rather than you locking down hardware so much they can barely even use it. See, Collide believes that end users are your IT department's most significant untapped resource. Getting them active and engaged, making them part of your security solution, that is bound to make your work environment safer and more secure. Find out more and give their free trial a spin. Visit collide.com/macOSCan to sign up today. That's KOLIDE, collide.com/macOSCan. Enter your email when prompted to receive your free Collide gift bundle after your trial activation at KOLIDE, collide.com/macOSCan. Apple's lobbying spend hit a new quarterly record in the first quarter of this year. That is according to a Bloomberg report highlighted a couple of weeks ago by the Mac Observer. Was the money worth it? Well, funny thing about lobbying, we don't really know, do we? Spending may eventually influence people voting on legislation, even if it doesn't affect folks writing the laws being voted on. $2.5 million, by the way. Apple spent $2.5 million on lobbying efforts in the March quarter. That's nearly 35% more than the $1.86 million Apple spent in the December quarter, but less than the nearly $3 million Google spent in the March quarter. I'm not being funny, nor cynical, nor sarcastic when I say I don't know the technical difference between lobbying and bribery. I mean, I know that bribery is illegal, and I know that if you bribe somebody, you expect to get a stated goal in return. With lobbying, it seems, you just get to spend money and hope for the best. Okay, I might be being a tiny bit cynical. It's just funny to me, darkly comedic, let's say, that even while Apple spends more money on lobbying efforts than it's ever spent before, it keeps getting hit. According to a piece from Mac Rumors over the weekend, the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, or NTIA, has launched an investigation into competition in mobile app ecosystems. On behalf of the U.S. Department of Commerce, the piece says, the NTIA is now requesting comments about competition in mobile app ecosystems. The investigation was triggered by an executive order on promoting competition in the American economy from July of last year, with the aim of making recommendations for improving competition, reducing barriers to entry, and maximizing user benefit. Mac Rumors goes on to say the formal request for comment lists in detail how iOS is likely to come under scrutiny as part of the investigation, with questions related to benefits of developing a standalone app for a platform compared to cross-platform web apps, how web apps should operate on mobile platforms, the availability of other methods of app distribution, and app sideloading. Particular attention is given to iOS's unique barriers that prevent users and developers from taking advantage of web apps, apps from alternate app stores, or sideloaded apps. The NTIA is accepting comments from now until 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the 23rd of May. wherever you land on this issue, I do hope that you will go and leave a comment. Unless you're cool with lobbyists from Apple, Google, Epic, Spotify, and who knows who else deciding the future of the App Store for App Store users. Speaking of being hit, the European Commission has formally charged Apple with another accusation of anti-competitive behavior. On Monday, Engadget had EC Executive VP Margherita Vestea confirming that her wing of the EU has formally charged the iPhone maker with restricting access to near-field communication, or NFC technology, in the iPhone and boxing out competitors in the mobile payment space. In a statement, says the report, Vestea said that the Commission had indications that Apple restricted third-party access to key technology necessary to develop rival mobile wallet solutions on Apple's devices, adding that the company may have restricted competition to the benefit of its own solution. Of course, Apple has a solution: join Apple Pay. In a statement apparently responding to news of the charge, Engadget had Apple saying, Apple Pay is only one of many options available to European consumers for making payments and has ensured equal access to NFC while setting industry-leading standards for privacy and security. We will continue to engage with the Commission to ensure European consumers have access to the payment option of their choice in a safe and secure environment. It seems what the EC has lodged is a statement of objections to the way Apple currently does business, specifically how points objected to violate EU antitrust regulations. Engadget says Apple will now be invited to reply to the issues raised and request a meeting with officials. Worth noting, the EC's investigation and charges seem to have come compliments of PayPal and companies like it. 9to5Mac highlights a Bloomberg report on the matter. That site cites sources familiar with the matter who say that PayPal helped spur a formal antitrust complaint against Apple and Apple Pay with the European Commission. PayPal, which offers an NFC-based tap-to-pay feature for Android users, is not allowed to offer the same option on the iPhone. That said, the piece says, Bloomberg says that PayPal was only one of multiple companies that made formal complaints about the situation to the European Commission. Get ready to reset the tote board for Apple in the Netherlands. I know you have to remember the story from the first quarter of this year, the one that had Dutch regulators requiring changes to how Apple's App Store handles dating apps in Holland. The primary concern was that Apple had to let such apps employ third-party payment options, not just Apple's in-app payment mechanism. Apple agreed, but said that developers would be required to build a separate version of their apps if they went the third-party route, a requirement the company later backed off of. The whole time, the Netherlands Authority for Consumers and Markets, or ACM, was fining Apple €5 million a week up to €50 million, the maximum allowed for the alleged violation. Simultaneously, Apple and the ACM were going back and forth on plans and proposals. Toward the end of March, as Apple fines hit the magical €50 million mark, the ACM said Apple had submitted new proposals, that it would assess the substance of those proposals, and that would consider the proposals along with various market participants. It did, and they were rejected. But to be honest, we all seem to kind of forget about it without the dollar amount climbing week after week. So here comes the ACM to jog everybody's memory, Apple included. A piece from Mac Rumors had the Netherlands ACM indicating Monday that while Apple eliminating its requirement for Dutch dating apps to create a separate app binary in order to accept alternative payments was an improvement, the company has yet to fully comply with Dutch and European regulations. The statement did not outline the specific conditions that Apple has yet to comply with. Well, I guess we can figure out the crime later. Let's jump back to the punishment. According to the report, the ACM already fined Apple a total of €50 million between January and March for failing to comply with the order, and the competition regulator said it is now preparing a new order with additional penalties that will be published in the coming weeks. More news in a moment. But first, a word from Notion. One workspace for your whole team. You know what might be worse than the telephone game? The smartphone game. Sure, your words are preserved, but are they in Slack or Teams? Are they in iMessage or email? Where the heck are they? For friends, that might be cool. For work, everybody needs to know where everything is. For you, that could be Notion. No, you don't have to learn a lot of new stuff. Notion takes the tools you use and puts them all in one place, preventing the kind of miscommunication and silos that can prevent good work. Here's another great thing. Notion has a worldwide network of millions of users creating templates, tutorials, and new inspiration. They share what they've learned and how they work, so your work can be even better. With powerful integrations and seamless navigation, you will have everything you need in one space. When I think of the ways that could have made my past work life better. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. That's notion.com/macOSKen to help you take the first step toward an organized, happier team today. NOTION. That's notion.com/macOSKen. When Apple released AirTag about a year ago, the company said the item tracker's battery would last for about a year. About a year later, you may be wondering whether you need to change that battery. Maybe? According to a piece from Apple Insider, it's impossible to predict with any certainty how long a battery will last because it depends chiefly on how much it's used. And if the battery in your AirTag does get so low that you need to replace it, your iPhone will notify you. But maybe you're going away for a while and don't want to have to worry. Or maybe worry is your default setting, so you just want to double check. It's easy to do. Go to the Find My app on the associated iPhone, select Items at the bottom of the screen, tap the AirTag in question, and there's your battery indicator. Now, if you look in devices and you don't see your AirTag there, don't freak out. I know I did, but again, you're supposed to select Items at the bottom of the screen, not Devices, which is what I did. Once you find the AirTag and Find My, you'll see a little battery indicator, just like the one on iPhone. You can make your battery replacement decision based on how full that teeny tiny indicator looks. It's actually kind of crazy that Apple put the battery usage at about a year. The Apple Insider piece has the Cupertino company saying in a support doc, battery life based on everyday use of 4 play sound events and 1 precision finding event per day. Battery life varies with usage, environmental conditions, replacement battery manufacturer, and many other factors. Actual results will vary. Who is picking their AirTag 5 times a day? I may have done that the first day. Maybe. Anyway, that's the battery haps with AirTag about 1 year later. I'm a fan of Apple's Refurbished store. I've owned a couple of MacBooks bought through it, and I'm actually expecting delivery of a refurbished M1 Mac Mini today. That said, it would never occur to me to go there for Apple Watch. Not sure why. It's just not how I think of refurbished Apple products. Maybe next time. A little over 6 months into their run, a piece from my download blog says Apple Watch Series 7 has landed on the Renew Reuse site. As with all of Apple's refurbished kit, the watches are thoroughly cleaned, inspected, and tested, meeting the same standards as a brand new device. You're ordering with a band, so you get one of those. Refurbished watches also come with a 1-year limited warranty, as well as 14 days to send it back if you're not satisfied. All of that at a discount. You won't be saving hundreds, says iDownload blog, but a discount nonetheless. The refurbished 41mm Series 7 starts at $339, $60 less than the normal $399 starting price. Moving up to the 45mm option raises the starting price to $359, a savings of $70 off the standard starting price of $429. There are currently a few colors from which to choose. The Series 7s are currently all aluminum and all GPS only. That is the thing about the refurbished store. Things come and go. If you got your heart set on a GPS Plus cellular or a different case or color, keep checking back. And finally today, I'm not sure who this is a win for. And again, maybe it's just a thing. TechCrunch says Apple Music has turned up on Roku devices. The arrival comes 3 years after Apple's streaming music offering landed on Amazon's Fire TV devices. As of now, the piece says users should be able to download the Apple Music app on any Roku device, including its streaming players, Roku TV models, and its audio products like the Roku Stream Bar Pro, among others. Now, if you're wondering what took so long, you may look to the business side. TechCrunch says users can sign up for a 1-month free trial for Apple Music through Roku. If they choose to continue, they can do so through Roku for the Apple iOS price of $9.99 per month. TechCrunch says that could have been the holdup. Typically, the piece says, Roku takes a 20% revenue share on channels on its platform, which monetize through subscriptions or in-app purchases. The companies did not publicize their revenue share agreement, so it's not clear if Apple has negotiated a special deal or if it's decided to abide by Roku's general terms in order to address Roku's sizable market of 61.3 million active accounts as of the first quarter of this year. Yeah, okay, but at least some of those 61 million people have to have iPhones, don't they? As I say, I'm not sure who this is a win for. Then again, maybe it's just a thing. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Collide. Endpoint security powered by people. Learn more and try it for free at KOLIDE collide.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.